What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 53 of Retro Buyer's Guide. I'm Mike, and in this episode, I'm going to show you how to replace the battery in your Sega Dreamcast. As many of you Dreamcast owners out there know, the console's more than 15 years old, and the batteries that were inside of the Dreamcast have since gone bad in a lot of the consoles. So every time you power it on, you're going to be asked to set the time and date. And so I'm going to show you how to desolder that battery off of the controller board and put in a new one that should last you for a long time. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Before we get started, you will need a few things for this project. Beforehand, you'll need a rechargeable battery holder as well as the rechargeable batteries. I purchased mine off Amazon and they were very cheap, so I'll go ahead and put links to those below the video. You will also need a Phillips head screwdriver and a soldering iron, and you will also need to desolder the old battery out. I used a desoldering wick, but you might want to pick up a desoldering iron. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is take apart your Dreamcast by flipping it over and unscrewing the 4 Phillips head screws that are on the bottom. There's one on each corner, including one underneath the modem, which you'll have to pull out to reveal where the screw is. Once you've removed the 3 screws that are easily visible, go ahead and remove the modem and take out that 4th screw. Now you should be able to very gently flip over your Dreamcast and take off the lid. Once you're inside, you'll see the controller board with the rechargeable battery right up front that needs to be removed. But before we can do that, we're going to need to do a couple of things to get access to it first. Let's take a good look here at the controller board. We're going to need to remove these 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're also going to need to remove this power connector for the fan and the ribbon cable that goes from the controller board to the motherboard. The ribbon cable comes out very easy, so we'll just do that first very gently so you don't break it. Pull on each end until it comes out. Next, take out the 4 screws that I pointed out, and then you should have access to this power connector here for the fan. Very gently pull this out. You do not want to break that. After you remove everything, you should be able to pull up on the back, and the controller board should eventually pop out. Alright, so here's a controller board that we're going to be removing the old battery from, and I think the easiest way to do this is to get up underneath the legs with a pair of snips, so you can just remove the battery and then desolder the remaining solder that's on there with either a soldering wick or just use a desoldering iron. I tried to film this myself, but my dumb big head was in the way and I didn't realize it. But anyway, you want to remove all the solder so you have nice, clean points like this where you can insert the new rechargeable battery holder into. Now you may need to bend the legs a little bit to get this to happen, but what you want to do is push it down into those points where you removed the old battery with the positive side facing out and then solder it into place.
Let's get scratching.
Now I know my soldering skills suck, but I can still get the job done. And here you see we have the new rechargeable battery holder in place. Just make sure to plug in the rechargeable battery the correct direction with the positive side facing out again. And let's put everything back together. All right, now it's the moment of truth. You've got everything back together. Go ahead and power on the Dreamcast. And you should see the familiar swirl come on screen. And then it will ask you to set the date and time. And hopefully, if everything went correctly, you won't have to do this again for a while. I'm going to go ahead and set it for today's date and time that I'm making this video. So once you've set the date and time, you want to leave your Dreamcast on for about an hour or so to give it time to charge the rechargeable battery. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave this up for about an hour and then come back and check on it. Alright, I think the Dreamcast has had enough time to charge the battery, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off and give it a second. And let's flip it back on, and I'll go ahead and pan up to my television to see if it saved the date and time. And there we go. No clock screen. We did it, guys. That is going to do it for episode 53 of Retro Buyer's Guide. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. Hopefully this video helps somebody out there. I am planning out some new videos, and I've got some new things in the works, so I hope to be back with a new video soon. But until then, take care and happy collecting.